Senator Young.
Thank you, Chairman. Secretary Nichols, I appreciate you being here today to discuss a number of issues surrounding our bilateral relationship with Brazil. Farmers and manufacturers in my home state of Indiana depend quite a bit on market access to ensure they can continue to grow and stay relevant in this globalized world in which we live. Brazil's our 14th largest trading partner and therefore presents a real opportunity to forge new trading relationships, but also to address issues like Brazil's history of tariff barriers on things like ethanol and a wide range of commodities like corn and soybeans. Over the past few months, the administration has announced a number of efforts to support trade, but unfortunately, the common theme is that market access is off the table. Ambassador Tai has launched the America's Partnership for Economic Prosperity to increase cooperation on trade in the Western Hemisphere, but it excluded Brazil. The administration's also announced an effort to strengthen trade ties through the U.S.-Brazil Agreement on Trade and Economic Cooperation, but details have not been transparent. Secretary Nichols, I realize we don't have a representative of USTR here. That's a problem with the administration's doing. These are public hearings. I certainly will presume that they could contact the committee if they had an interest in having their voice heard on this important issue. So I'll ask you, how would American farmers and businesses benefit from increased trade with Brazil under the U.S.-Brazil Agreement on Trade and Economic Cooperation?
Thank you, Senator Young. The opportunities to strengthen our trade with Brazil are wide and varied. I note that Ambassador Tai's visit was one of the came early in the Lula administration and reflects our desire to have a strong trade relationship and open up markets and opportunities for American farmers and businesses. As I noted, Undersecretary Jose Fernandez will soon follow that. Undersecretary Fernandez is the State Department's lead on America's Partnership for Economic Prosperity. When the initial 11 countries were discussing APEP, we were in the midst of Brazil's election, so this is an opportunity to engage with them now that they have a new government. I believe that as we look at opportunities across different sectors, American private sector, agriculture, will see benefits in different commodity exchanges, farm equipment, where we continue to have a robust presence, manufacturing, services, and technology.
Well, yeah, you've listed a lot of things. You've alluded to market opportunities that exist there, and I just really question whether we're going to have much success gaining substantial market share anywhere without offering reciprocal access to other countries. It just sort of stands to reason. But I wish the administration continued success there while offering a lot of encouragement to rethink that anti-trade position. Secretary Nichols, ag production has experienced a lot of growth in Brazil, leading the nation to become a top exporter of commodities. This is partly, I think there's some lessons to be learned from Brazil because of their favorable regulatory system for biotech approvals. In fact, Brazil is the second largest producer of biotech crops in the world, right behind the United States. As you may know, 90% of corn in the U.S. is considered genetically modified, and this has proved challenging with our close neighbor in the region, Mexico. Mexico's decrees to phase out and to ultimately ban genetically modified corn is going to have rippling implications throughout their own market, but also throughout our global supply chains and export markets, hurting American and Brazilian farmers alike. The U.S., I think you would agree, must pursue science-based approaches with our trading partners. Otherwise, we risk losing market access and market share that can't be easily replicated. So I'm going to ask you what I hope will be a yes or no response. Do you think that science should play a key role in establishing trade policies with our partners? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. And what are the implications to global commodity markets should Mexico's decree to ban GMO corn be implemented?
Well, I know that it would have a significant negative effect on food security in Mexico, and it's vital for our partners around the world, particularly in a time of climate change, to use the seed types that are resilient to climate shocks, are proven safe by thousands of studies, and provide opportunity for farmers in our country and around the world to produce even under more challenging conditions, whether it's greater floods or greater droughts.
I completely agree, which is why we need to do whatever we can working with our counterparties in other countries to ensure that they break down barriers to GMO products so that we can produce more, innovate more, and ultimately feed the world. This is how we're going to do it. Thank you, Chairman.
Senator Haggerty.